Welcome back for another week of our anime roundup, where we're going to go through the top 10 anime of this week, ending the 9th of the 6th, 2025. This is week 10 of our spring season. I'm surprised I remembered what season we're going into, because I'm in the southern hemisphere and we're a little bit backwards. But we're going to jump straight on into it. We're going to have a look at our number 10 for the week, which is Rock is a Lady's Modesty. And Jesus Christ, did I not expect this to go the way it was. We are seeing the ramifications of losing the Battle of the Bands, because nobody was really ready for a terrible first half, nor were they ready for an instrumental rock set, which, that's fair. But we got to see them dealing with it the next day. We got to find out that I think her name is Shion, with the short purple hair, is actually an upperclassman at their prestigious girls' school, where she wears a wig because they're not going to accept somebody with a bob cut or a pixie cut or an undercut. I sure as fuck am, though. But yeah, everyone came together after their rather abysmal showing, and it's always good to see. I'm finding more and more every week that cute girls doing cute things, or in this case, aggressive girls doing cute things, is my favorite genre of anime. Keeping with the musical theme today, we have we have Classic Stars, where we got to find out a bit more of Mozart's backstory, because today we found out that Mozart was actually the last member recruited to the old Grandmeisters, which is now Discord. And he is not dealing too well with the old Beethoven being back in his life, because he's the one that really brought him into Grandmeisters. And yeah, it's really good to see why he had such an issue with Beethoven coming in, because hashtag not my Beethoven, I suppose. Yeah, we got to see Beethoven running out and ditching class to try and find Mozart. At some point, the other two did as well, and that's great to see. I love seeing a little bit of camaraderie between our musical maestros. But after this, we are going to the redemption arc of the season, because this was actually in my first week's bottom 5. It would have been in the second week's, but the website I use had 3 episodes out at the same time. And that's I'm an evil lord of an intergalactic empire, or galactic empire, or something along those lines. It's long, it's obnoxious, so's he. Oh, not so much the long part. But this show has had such a turnaround in my face, because the whole premise of it is that a god of misery, essentially, he's the in-betweener, tried to throw this guy who in a previous life had been cheated on, had been replaced for his daughter by his boss, who was making him work constant overtime, and hey, now we know why. And he ended up dying alone and destitute while his wife was off banging his boss. The guy brought him to this world where he was immediately abandoned by his parents, and those parents left him with a metric fuck ton of debt. He has turned it around so much that guy is now actively avoiding him, because negative emotions are great. He doesn't like positive emotions. This week we got to see him have a confrontation with the pirate fleet, and they were given 3.4% odds of success if they fought. Jesus Christ, did he turn those odds around very, very quickly. I love to see it. We got to see a weeb throw in every overpowered thing you would want to see on a mech and just absolutely go to town with it. Right between bazookas and giant swords, even a rocket punch, which, God, the rocket punch is dumb, but it's such a great thing to see. It's not traditional, but hey, it gets the job done. And we got to see a payoff from a few episodes ago where the knight that he saved is now coming and saving him, which you love to see it. After this, we have our number 4 for the week going also into space, Apocalypse Hotel. This week, we got some sad news and some delightful news because our Tanuki, well, our young Tanuki that's working for us, who has basically taken over the hotel, or at least had taken over the hotel's management, is getting married. But her grandmother's also dying. And her grandmother dies just before the wedding, so they decide, hey, we're going to usher in the good with ushering out the old. So they have a funeral/wedding. And it's not nearly as awkward as it should have been. I kind of do wish that it was more awkward, but different customs for different people, I suppose. But yeah, it was genuinely just a delightful, fun romp of a funeral, which is how funerals should be. Up after that, we have the Shanji family children, where Pinkie Pie, because I refuse to remember their names, ran away. At the end of the last episode, she bolted, and it took them 4 days to realize we have Find Your Friend on our phone, where they tracked her down to Mount Fuji. So our MC and oldest brother decided, hey, I'm going to go and get her back. And that was great. But she was there because it's where their parents met, and she wanted to go and see the magic or find something that showed connection between her and her mum. But couldn't find it, didn't find it, ended up having the brother find her, and in the end, she almost died because she fell down a cliff because she took a wrong turn. Don't fuck around with mountains. But she found the earrings that were really special to her that she dropped right as her brother came in from above the way her father did for her mother, and that's when the creepy starts. After that, we have yes, can a boy-girl friendship survive? I love this show. This is one of the shows that I look forward to watching the most every week. And it's a not much is really happening show. I love it. This week we got to see Himiri actually grow a pair, because we had to find a flower to put into the jewelry for the competition. And they ended up deciding, after seeing his old flower arranging teacher, we should do sunflowers, because nothing captures summer quite like sunflowers. And when they go into the sunflower maze, she gets jealous of sunflowers because he's giving them too much attention, storms off, and when he chases after her, she plants a big one right on the lips. Which, it's about fucking time. But yeah, I can't wait for next week to see how the other girl takes this, because it's not gonna be pretty, and I can't wait to see that shit. After it, we have Catch Me in the Ballpark, or as I have it put down on everything, the beer anime. So these are always 3-parters. The first one is a former idol who is now an actress, turns out to also be a former beer slinger for this team, and she talks so much smack about this team. I got a little bit defensive of my team because I don't follow baseball, but I follow the Suns. But she ends up finding something of a kinship with them because they fail too. And that's the part that actually pissed me off, because I'm like, they fail too, but they actually try. You are here to wallow in self-pity. Part 2 was... What the hell was this about? Oh, Part 2 was the international player Dennis gets annoyed because there are 2 international players on the team that both speak English, but only to each other. Whenever they're speaking Japanese to each other, it's weird because there's a translator there who kind of translates for them, but they're speaking in Japanese already. And it's weird. But he's annoyed because whenever he gets through and it hits really well, he gets high fives. The other guy gets arse pats, and he's jealous of the arse pats, which I loved. There was a point, though, where Ruriko seemed to be jealous when he finally got the arse pats, and I'm just sitting there like, did she want the arse pats? No, she wanted to give him them, which raises more questions. And part 3, I didn't write anything down for part 3. I got nothing for part 3. It was great. I can remember that it was really good, but I can't remember what happened. We'll come back to it. After that, though, we have Windbreaker. And we got the culmination of the Red Light District arc, which ended with our drag representation, because they are not... He is not actually a they or a she. He is not trans. He just appreciates women's clothes. But he also kicks some serious fucking ass. The only fight for this episode was just him beating the shit out of the head of the other side, and then getting everyone to turn around before he actually kicks his ass and says, hey, why don't we just give them jobs? And if they have jobs, they won't have to do this. We got some of his backstory, which was basically breaking up cookies into small pieces, because we shouldn't fight to have one cookie. We should all split the cookie. I've said cookie too many times. And yeah, it was just great. It was a great fight. It was a great resolution to it. And the guy that popped up at the end of, I can't even remember the dragon skeleton guy's name. This guy who's on the middle of the poster. Same guy that popped up at the end of their arc, popped up at the end of this. And he looks like he's about to beat some shit in. I can't fucking wait to see it. But speaking of things that could have ended up with people getting their shit kicked in, My Hero Academia is my second place of the week, where we got to see a cat bus, because B-Girl injected a cat that was on top of a bus with a venom, or with a drug, which made it merge with the bus. Before that, though, we had our main dude's mum stop in, where he's gotten his friend, the journalism student, to pretend to be his girlfriend, and his mum just straight away just like, you and her don't make sense. This is not a thing. She was right, but it's kind of rude for her to call him out like that. And then I can never remember her name. Popstep, I think her name is, the pink-haired 15-year-old, 14-year-old, something around there, pops in and also tries to pretend to be his girlfriend. And that was creepy as shit, because let's not pretend like the middle school girl, or maybe first year of high school girl, is the girlfriend. That's not okay. But yeah, we got to see some rather ridiculous things, like slide and glide down here, keeping up with Ingenium. That doesn't seem right. We also found out his power isn't actually sliding. His power is actually floating. His mum just abused the shit out of him with her power so much that he stayed on the ground the entire time. Which, I love the evolution of the power and the showing. Like, this is some Luffy hitting Gear 5 bullshit, but it all makes sense in universe. And somebody should arrest his mom. Like, that's a lot of child abuse to just be allowed to happen. But then, of course, we get to our number one slot, and I'm sure if you're not new to the channel, you can tell exactly what it's going to be. To be Hero X. We are on the last episode of Cyan's season arc, Lucky Cyan. I didn't realize until somebody pointed it out to me the other day that Lucky Cyan is... her concert is what Esau wanted to take his girlfriend to, or the girl he was interested into. And I love the fact that there's that connection there. And the guy at the end of the first arc looked like Esau, which I don't know what the fuck's going on there. But we got what seemed to be anger zombies. It seems like the guy that ran the orphanage has infected all of these people with anger and maybe fear. And now they are trying to stop Lucky Cyan, who just wanted to... who got accused of stealing everyone's luck. Right down to when her powers first manifested, it was on an airplane that was crashing. And she got blamed for everyone else on the plane dying because, hey, you stole their luck. But we got to see in a nice flashback that no, they actually gave their luck to her. Because it was I want to give you everything I can to make sure the baby on this airplane survives. Which is really cute. Her best friend's parents were on that plane, so he was also trying to kill her while this was happening. But as soon as he found out, the fear went out of him, and it was a delightful, touching moment to the end of it. We are going back in time in these because this is the first instance in universe of fear being a thing. But hey, I can't wait to see next week where we will have a brand new hero to follow. But that's all we've got for the week. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, or if you're enjoying the anime this season, let me know down below. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you all next time.